All right, so hello everybody. It's Francisco here for Sports Goofs number 202. We are just Charles right now. Andrew's fielding a call, so he's currently not here right now. But anyways, it's raining, it's stormy, it's Florida. We've got a hurricane. Me and Charles, at the very least, are not in any sort of area for the impact zone, but we're getting the outside bits for the storm. Andrew's probably a lot closer to it than we are, but I don't think it's doing a head-on collision with Orlando, at the very
Yeah,
least.
I
But
am a bit closer,
yeah,
but
oh, he's back.
the the east side of the storm kind of, I don't know, pulled itself away. So, I mean, the stuff this the strongest of what we're going to get is going to get here shortly, in probably uh, an hour or so.
Are
It'll probably be lots of wind, maybe an occasional tornado.
are you working tomorrow?
No, I had today and tomorrow off.
Okay, all right. Um, I know schools here, Charles, like Palm Beach County. I think they close for, my niece and nephew's schools closed today. So I don't know. I don't know how things are up in your part of the neighborhood.
The schools were closed, but they didn't have, they didn't have, the courts were open technically. So that
Yeah,
was
yeah, they were. Yeah, Palm Beach County
I
courthouse is
was
open.
I was remote, and it was kind of weird because I'm like, all right, it's remote, but I don't know if everything was needed. But thank you, Job, for taking us into consideration because it did eventually rain hard around like 3 or 4. And since you're in Palm Beach, Francisco, I'm about
Yeah.
an hour north of you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's whatever. I mean, like, listen, Florida's weird, man, and I had to go down to. So for anybody who wants, tips on how to deal with the water situation, just go to Winn Dixie. Just go to Winn Dixie. That's all you have to do. Because I actually needed water, not because of this belief of everybody's gonna buy it out or the storm, but I only had like 2 bottles left. So I left work at like 4:20, 4:30. Went there. There was an oversupply because there's something about like discrimination in your shopping centers and your food market that's kind of like advantageous because Walmart you just have to avoid because everybody's crazy and all that fun jazz. Publix is where a lot of the white people might go to, and then when you think of Winn Dixie, you might think of like the other kind of food market. Blah blah. Winn Dixie's fine, guys, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Water all the same, and they were non-sponsor right here. Winn Dixie was buy 3 cases for $13. So good on you, Winn Dixie. I don't really get anything else there because I live closest to the Walmart, but I knew to avoid it. But you know what? Let the high nose people go to Publix and fight each other with crappy water. I'm just gonna Winn Dixie.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it is. It's been a week, and I'm older now. So
Oh yeah, he's old.
yeah, so I'm 37 now. So that happened, and I guess I'll give a non-sponsor here, just because we're gonna start doing this on the fly. I guess to the people at work, because man, I've been getting fed this week. Uh, Monday we had our birthday party. I played Nintendo Switch. We played some Jackbox games during the lunch break. We got Just Salads. This place called Just Salads. I had a pretty good wrap from there. They have a spicy chicken Caesar salad wrap that I got over there, so that's pretty good. And they got me cake, so that was very nice of them. And then today, it was the new. I guess he's a clerk for now because he didn't pass the bar. He only passed the non-Florida, the MB whatever portion. He didn't pass the Florida portion, which is But in any case, it was his birthday today, and he chose to get pizza. So we got pizza from this place called Grimaldi's or something like that. Pretty,
Oh man, yeah, I
yeah,
love Grimaldi.
yeah. It's pretty damn good pizza. I'll tell you that much. It was pretty good, and of course we had cake. And today was National Pancake Day, so we had pancakes also, and Dunkin' Donuts. So I've been very well fed today, Charles and Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's been pretty sweet, literally and figuratively at work, and so that's a non-sponsor to them. And man, over the course of the week, let's see, done a little bit of gaming. Actually, we pulled together and got some Splatoon done, thanks to this storm. Andrew was able to stay up and play with us. So, and actually, I think we did pretty good last night. Hold on, I didn't look at the statistics. 1 second, I'm gonna pull this up.
I was looking like this morning, but I didn't.
On my Switch app.
Fully.
What's that? I just want to see like the overall record from last night. And I mean, let's see. Let's see, how many games did we play?
We won a lot. That much I know.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the courses. Okay, Bluefin Depot. Yeah, we started. Okay, this is all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 13 and 7. So we went 13 and 7 last night in Splatoon. So 20 games. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Preseason hockey has started, so I'm excited about that. Their games are free for anybody who's interested in watching them. Your team should have them free on the whatever their websites are. And I already got tickets to game 1 for the Panthers this season to see them raise the banner. I'm not going to go to the ring ceremony that they're going to do the night before, but whatever. I'll look at videos and stuff of it. And let's see what else has been happening as well. I might fly tomorrow. I'm not sure. Got the bachelor party coming up. And man, what else is going on? Oh, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are a useless franchise. I think
there's like 3 useless franchises. Yes.
Yeah. So the Angels are a useless franchise. We're on the precipice of actual history here. And yet, the Angels, in all of their mid glory, actually not even mid. What's below mid? What's considered below mid? Ass? 1.
Trash.
Trash. Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they're trash. Trash franchise.
At some point, trash had a benefit and a use, and that perfectly describes the Angels. They had Mike Trout when he was healthy. They had Vladimir Guerrero. They won a World Series. They had Mike Scioscia. But now when you're trash, you're just there to remember, oh, you stinky. I got to get rid of you.
Yeah.
But we won't get rid of that franchise. We'll also get rid of another trash franchise today. I said to the chat, I don't have as much of a swelling heart for the Oakland A's, but I'll kind of like bifurcate that to a different conversation.
Yeah, some stuff happened. Also, yeah, the A's played their last game in Oakland.
Fuck 'em. Won.
So today, so there you go with that. And but man, the White Sox are at 120 losses. They've tied the record, and they had a 3-game, or I guess they have like a homestand to finish out their season. Oh, actually, no. This was today's their last home game of the season.
Remember, I purposely avoided going to Chicago for the South Side because I didn't want to see the Yankees versus the White Sox. I wanted them versus the Cubs. I've never been to Chicago, but I was like, nah. So keep that in consideration. They're right there. They've actually, I think they've had higher attendance the last 2 games because people want to see them lose. They're actively. This is a fun question, though.
Yeah.
This is a question I thought about. Is it better to see like milestones or new records being broken in a positive light or in a terrible light? And I think we're haters. I'm a certified fucking hater too. I can tell you I love that ish more, and I would probably pay more money to that comparison to seeing like a home run record being broken or
let's say all-time wins record.
The all-time record, yeah.
Yeah, because like the Yankees set it back in '98, and then the Mariners beat it, and then they didn't win the World Series, so it didn't matter.
Dick all 3.
Yeah.
So, is dick a curse word? Are we counting that?
I mean, it's the context, right? You're using
context. Dick all. Yeah. Sure.
But man, the White Sox fans are actively booing the team when they're actually winning. They were
That's
cheering.
kind of like why I like the fandom, though. They've
Yeah.
been booing since they fired Rick Renteria. Like,
Yeah,
Tony
they,
La Russa. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
they hate their owner. They hate their owner so much, Jerry Reinsdorf, who owns the Chicago Bulls as well, and Bulls fans hate them
Trash
too. Yeah, the Bulls fans hate him too. So they're just waiting for him to die because he's not selling either of those teams. And the White Sox have like the worst leverage amongst all of Chicago. They're trying to get a new stadium, like closer. It's called the South Loop. I went to Chicago this year. I know the area that they're trying to build at. It's next to their, probably around where they're, it's close to Soldier Field, close to their WNBA arena over there. And I guess the Whites or the Bears are building a new stadium in that area anyways. So I think they're...
Giancarlo got a home run. Thank you.
There you go. There we go. Yeah.
At 27. He won't break 30, but that helps out with the 500.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That past week, Skip Shoemaker followed me on Twitter, so that was nice. I'm gonna miss him because he's gone, man. He is so gone.
Yeah.
Like
he's gonna come manage a very healthy Jazz Chisholm in the Yankee world.
Oh my god!
Don't you worry, I'll take care of it.
He's gonna be so good with whatever team he's gonna be with next year.
It's gonna be with us.
Like it will be. He is the hottest. Maybe literally and figuratively manager that's going to be out there.
Well, Gabe Kapler's out, so
yeah,
I think
and he might be the Marlins manager next year, actually, since he's part of the team right now.
You know, I would hate it, but I would love it.
Yeah,
at the same time.
True. It'd be interesting too because he managed the Phillies and they're in our division, so there's no love lost there. But man,
it would just be Joe Girardi 2.0. Just reverse.
And man, but yeah, the Angels losing to the White Sox. They've lost 2 of the 3 games now. They play. Let's see.
Is Andrew here? I just.
Oh, they got.
Maybe.
They lost today. Actually, they got swept. That's great. This is fantastic. They lost 7-0. So, man, what a useless franchise. Just the Angels set their record for most losses in their entire history. They've never lost. Let's see, they lost like what 90 something games now, right? Oh, they've never lost 96 games. They lost their 96. This is the worst team that they've ever had.
And this is a team that needed a good sense of mediocrity. They needed to be the C- of mediocrity.
Yeah.
But, because Shohei left, but then in one season, the baseball gods punished them by injuring Mike Trout yet again. Just retire, Mike. Just retire. And then...
Or just be a DH, my God. Nobody wants to see you on the field anymore.
At all. And then Anthony Rendon, who is really, lifetime goals, get paid millions of dollars, just hate the sport of baseball.
He's so great.
It's great. The Little Leaguers this is fun. He's like, no, this is just terrible.
Yeah.
But you should just do this because you make a lot of money. It's the promise of law school, really. So I actually vibe with Anthony Rendon. Man's like, I don't really care about y'all's opinion. He's a strong, independent man who really doesn't care about the fandom. Mm-hmm. I love it, actually.
Yeah.
And baseball, the beauty about those contracts is you can't terminate them early.
Nope.
And get out of it.
I mean, they could. They could tell him to go home, but they got to pay him all his money. So either way, it's guaranteed.
And he'll go home. Yeah. He'll go home. He'll go home and be like, Call of Duty, Sparking Zero, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yeah.
Mario Luigi Brothership. Does he look like a guy?
Zelda this weekend.
Yeah. Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah.
Your boy's playing Cyberpunk. We will make a game section today, I think, or segment today, possibly to speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Yotai, because I did say I'm coming. We'll make a game segment today. Remember, guys, we're a sports show, but we're a variety show now. But we don't have it structured because the hurricane kind of threw us off. The supposed hurricane threw us off. But yeah, Angels just useless.
Ah, man. But anyways, the White Sox do have an opportunity tomorrow to lose because they're playing the Detroit Tigers.
Do you want them to lose? Do you really want them to lose?
I just want it to be there. I just want to see it.
I want them to edge us a little bit.
They have been.
This finality of pride, because it would just be beautiful. There's 6 games remaining, and here we're thinking,
3. There's 3 games. That's it.
Is there 3? I don't
Yeah,
know,
we're
it's
at
like 4 or
the
5.
we're aren't we at the final series? Yeah, this is the final weekend of baseball.
Yeah,
Before the
when we play
playoffs.
the Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There's 4. There's 4.
Yeah.
Well,
I
at
mean,
least for the Yankees.
some teams played.
And
Yeah, some
to
teams
the
played
Yankees.
today. Yeah, but
But could you just imagine how fantastic that would be?
mhm.
I kind of love the edging a little bit. Like, we're not gonna do it, and then they wait till the last game of the year to do it. Just think about that. Like,
I mean, yeah, it could mean something, and the Tigers are actually playing for something as well because they got the wild card race going on. This is actually baseball is actually pretty good right now. The Marlins
baseball has been good this season. Yeah,
the Marlins lost 100 games again, so yeah, it's the third time and since 2012 they've lost 100 games again. That's been an utter disaster, but
well, let's put an asterisk on it. Sadney was hurt. Yuri was hurt.
Yeah, a lot of our pitchers went down. I would say with Sandy and Yuri on the roster, and they probably wouldn't have blown up the team the way they did this year. But I can't see them building it back up anytime soon. So I'm looking at next year. Like we'll probably trade Jake Berger. He's going to be good for somebody. He's trying to get. He's almost at. I think he's got 29 home runs or 28 home runs right now.
Yeah, he's going to be a good
close to
fat boy
30
DH for an NL team.
Yeah, or I mean, he's a third baseman too, or a first baseman. Either way, so he good pickup for anybody that wants him next year, especially if he's balling out at the trade deadline. Because at this trade deadline, he wasn't, and then it passed.
But then he showed up after.
Yeah, and now he's at like 20 home runs in the second half, right? So it's like, it's insane. And yeah, so next year he'll be a hot commodity unless they can trade him in the off season, which why not? Sure, go ahead.
No one gets really traded in the off season.
They do. I think some teams prefer it in the off season because you can kind of. I think they can get.
I would like to be able to control the
housing
market.
Yeah, they can be a little softer on stuff because like some teams are really hard line with guys during the trade deadline and just like I'm never gonna give them up. So or teams have to pay really big to get them. Where here you could probably get a fairer return for Berger. Sandy's not gonna be traded unless he comes back from Tommy John and he balls out that first half and because he's not playing out the contract that he's got with the Marlins right now. He signed an extension, like we probably the only guy we actually signed an extension for, and yet he's not gonna be long for us. I would be very surprised if he lasts past the 2025 off season.
He's going to go the Josh Beckett route for you guys. Like the wholesome beginning face of the franchise, pitching wise, only just get flinged out. Flung out?
Yeah, so he's 29 right now. You have to trade him.
Yeah. And the thing is
29, just got Tommy John this year. And so you have to trade him, right? Like this.
And he's not in his pitching prime. It's so weird how we throw prime as often out there, like so silly. And we like to say that 30 is their prime. I'm sorry, when it comes to pitching, 30 is not the prime. 26, 27. Look at, Skynes and Tarbell and Verlander when he was young and all that stuff. 29 post Tommy John surgery. Really, what you're looking to have it is be the Wendy's of fast food. You know what I mean? Like it's a good, reliable. But if you just have a few bucks more, you might go elsewhere. But you ain't gonna go less.
Yeah. Man, let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So yeah, that's Sandy. Oh, other baseball. Is there anything like because the Yanks are? Do you guys clinch a division yet?
No. So we got to beat the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, you guys? Yeah, that's your final games of the season, right?
No, we had the Pirates after.
No, but today's the final game against the Orioles.
Yes, and the thing is, like, we've been ass washed a little bit because Nestor is hurt, and then Stroman's coming back, and Stroman lit up like 6 runs. I do not think this team goes far. I did a roundabout at the office, and they asked me who I thought was going to the World Series, and you guys might be disgusted by this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I got Dodgers versus Guardians. Cleveland scares the shit out of me. I said that last week, but analytically, they check all the boxes. I also know that a certain man's going to not show up in the postseason. So I don't care if he gets 63 home runs between now and the end of the season. He's not. He is not. His stats are terrible, man. His stats are terrible. I was just reading up on something. I'm not going to give it to you now, but let me just tell you, it was like 1.156 batting average. And if he proves me wrong, fantastic, right? I actually believe in our pitching a little bit. I like it, but the problem is that pitching can only take you so far, even if you're just down by 2 runs, because Judge becomes a strikeout machine in the postseason. Stanton's healthy, so that's all I ever said for the last 3 years I've been on the show with you guys. I'm like, oh, just keep Stanton healthy. I don't know what Jazz kind of produces in the postseason because it's such an anomaly for him.
Yeah, he's had a very tiny, like last season. I don't think he got a hit against the Phillies in the wild card round.
He's been better, but like still, Volpe is just dog shit 5. He really is. Like he's still young because against kids like 23, but it's not. It ain't postseason ready. And Soto, let's just do it, baby.
Yeah,
that's who I'm really like hitching my like. Okay,
he's done it too. He's done it in the past. So.
Yeah. So, but he also helped. I'm gonna say this right now. If we win a World Series, I'll get a Juan Soto jersey. Mets are gonna get him next year for a long-term contract. That's fine. But like, can I be a hater for a minute, please?
All right.
If I may.
Let's do it.
We've already had Aaron Judge hold the torch for several postseasons. Giancarlo's been there for some postseasons. Garrett Cole finally get an opportunity to do what he can do. I love that man. I will never betray that man. We know this. Like he could have like a 6 ERA. I'm like, I don't care. Like he's been fine this year when he came back from his injury, and it's fine because we were able to get like some arms. But Soto was really that missing piece because it's not just getting the young guy who's decent defensively in the outfield, but hitting the bat. It's because we just knew that Judge just can't like show up. He can't do it, man. I remember we always get washed by the Astros, and we're gonna get washed by the Astros again. Truthfully, I understand the whole thing is like Charles, you said Guardians and ALCS. I don't know how the final standings are like pulling out, but I really don't see it.
I can look at it one second. I got it on the screen here.
Sure. So, if you make me want to hate my goddamn life.
Yeah, let me see. We're at 4 days left in baseball season right now, so I'm out. Let's see.
I think we get the Astros in. Like,
where's the bracket?
The ALDS. If we get the bye.
Yeah, whatever. Standings. Let's go.
Andrew's saying he needs to get to a segment. Buddy, just jump into the voice call so we get there. Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to find the playoff bracket. Don't they have like a playoff bracket thing on this thing?
They do, but I think they only give it when it's finalized.
They should. I mean, I thought I saw it on somewhere. One second. I'll pull it up here. MLB playoff bracket. There we go. Postseason. There we go. That's their dedicated website for this. Okay, so this year or okay. So right now we got the Dodgers at 1 on the National League side. I think they haven't clinched yet because they were facing the Padres recently, but I think they can clinch very soon, from what I understand. Hold on one second. They're 3 games ahead with. I think they have one more head-to-head tonight. Oh no! The Padres are against the Diamondbacks. So I guess the Dodgers win or the Padres lose, they'll clinch the NL West. The Phillies already have the East. Then you have Arizona. Oh yeah, Milwaukee's already clinched the Central, and they'll probably be the weak team of the unless they ball out for the final
Well, you need the
win out their entire
leading team to lose.
Yeah, but but I think they'll probably stick there as the Central, as the division team that's going to face the wildcard teams. And then you have San Diego, who's probably going to be that first wildcard team anyways. And then you have Arizona and New York kind of hanging on there with the Braves sitting right behind at 1 game. So we'll see. That could change. And we'll see if the Mets make it, or the Diamondbacks make it, or the Braves make it. So someone's going to be out. And then, so the Yanks are number 1 right now, as of today. Mm-hmm. They would face, if things stay the way they are, they would face either Kansas City or Baltimore.
Ugh.
So you could have another series against Baltimore just to round out who wins the real East, right?
I think they've been better.
Yeah, Because the Astros are gonna face whoever the bottom wildcard team, and I think the Orioles are basically set as that
Competition.
as the top wildcard team, anyways. So
Okay.
if Cleveland finishes out against you guys, then you'd be facing either Houston or Detroit or Kansas City.
It's going to happen. I see it. I can tell it. We will get them in the ALDS and we will mess up. And that's fine. And I will be the angriest human being. The chat could never go public.
But would it be enough to fire Aaron Boone to have him lose one more time against the Astros? Probably the weakest version of the Astros, too.
Yeah, but this is the best version of Aaron Boone's team that we've had. And that's going on from like saying that we've gone to the ALCS twice with the bad.
But if he loses with the best version of the Yanks against the worst version of the Astros.
Gone. Done.
Okay.
100%. And I get Skip Schumacher. Remember, I am so invested in this being all or nothing that I can't lose as a Yankee fan except one way. We either win the World Series, I'll buy that title bet, maybe Juan Soto jersey. We lose, Aaron Boone's fired, and that makes me very happy because I've been saying he's running on the coattails of Joe Girardi. The only way I lose is just if we retain the man, and I just think the Steinbrenner's like,
yeah,
why?
Okay.
I just hate the man so
all
much.
Right.
He's so lazy. He's so lazy.
Okay. All right. So that's the playoff scenarios right now. As far as the tanking scenarios are concerned, because that's the other side, and that's the side that I might as well look at it. So the White Sox, because they've been so horrible, Major League Baseball's lottery thing is that you can't be terrible. Like, they're trying to avoid tanking too much for too many years. So the White Sox, despite being the worst...
Are you even trying to tank? Or is it just like you just kept drafting badly and you're like, this is what we got?
Well, I mean,
you got the baby daddy who's seen time in Chino multiple times. You don't win at this.
White Sox can't get any higher seeding where they're going to get the 10th seed. And the A's the same thing. The Marlins have the second worst record in baseball and would have the best odds in the draft lottery. So if there's anything to come out of that, it could be that. Now, they're 2 games ahead of the Colorado Rockies. So there is a possibility if the Marlins do win out and the Rockies lose out, that could change over the last 3 games. But the Marlins, I think, could clinch the worst record that is not the White Sox with another loss. So fingers crossed right there. Yep. So that's where we're at with that. And let's see. All right, so that's baseball. That's what's going on there. I don't know if Andrew said he wanted to pop in here, but...
Yeah. Andrew, you popping in or not? I'll put it in the chat.
Because he didn't have nothing to say about baseball. His Rays are not they've been eliminated. They're the
Montreal Rays or Memphis Rays.
They can only at best finish at 500 for the year. But even then, even for an off year, they would only be like a game or 2 under 500 anyways. So,
but if I may, when your entire season is predicated on the fact that Wander Franco now has to stand trial for being a pedo, it is not a good season to be a Rays fan, regardless. So I can understand that if he doesn't want to talk to Rays at all.
And then
I just had sent the chat to pop in, so we're just gonna see what happens.
Right. So maybe he's got to do this, and then he'll pop out and just do his own segment here. Man, I haven't paid it. Like, college football's not. I don't.
Oh, but I'm going to take this, though.
Okay.
I will take the college football reins here. Because remember.
Because I don't know what's going on. I got the score card on the bottom, but I'm going to look at the score. Let's see what the matchups are. Actually, I'm going to go over there and see.
There's only one matchup that matters. But let me tell you the energy I have for college football. Remember, I didn't watch any college football last year. Oh, hey, it's Andrew doing a video share screen? Hi. Are you popping in?
Can you hear me?
Yes, pop in. It's your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I was having some technical issues, so as always.
Okay, so we did our baseball segment basically.
I heard. I was trying to pop in when you said, "All right, your turn," and I was having the tech issues, but I'm here now.
All right, so we talked baseball. I don't know if you have anything to. to contribute to
I am not starting with college football today.
Whoa.
I am not starting with college football.
You have
today.
a very important game this week that I need you to talk about.
I will get there. But I need to rant. I have.
Is this about the White Sox?
Is this about the Oakland A's?
Yes.
Okay.
The most useless franchise? Please go ahead. I have my manifesto ready for this.
Okay. Well, not exactly about the Oakland
Is
Athletics.
Jeff Fisher? What's his name? What's their owners?
Jeff Fisher.
John Fisher or Jeff Fisher? Jeff Fisher's the former coach of
I think it's John
of
Fisher.
the Titans. Okay.
Don't ever mention that man's name.
Yeah, John Fisher.
Is this a Favre's Felons?
I'll fight Jeff Fisher. He has set us back. We had 2 head coaches like run the ball. 3, run the ball. Go ahead.
Okay, so while I'm in this mindset, so I'm picking on John Fisher in particular because it's the most active thing going on right now, but the same can be said for Stu Sternberg with the Rays, with
the Marlins.
No, well, Jeffrey Loria. Jeffrey Loria, Wayne Huizenga, whoever the hell owned the Expos in 2004.
The Pirates. Right now, that's another thing.
I am speaking to whoever owns the Chiefs right now. I could be talking about pretty much every single sports owner
Clark family, right?
Right now. If you're a sports owner, you're probably in some ways in this category as we speak. Arizona is supposedly thinking they're going to leave the state because they're not happy with Bob anymore, Bank One Ballpark, whatever the hell it's called, Chase Field. Calgary was thinking of leaving because they weren't getting a new stadium. Look, I get it. It's a business for these guys. They see it as a business. It makes them money. I get it. But this really is not a normal business. Your customers aren't transitory like at Walmart, where they're coming in to buy a few groceries or whatever and getting out. And you can make a zillion branches to cover wherever in the world you are. Pro sports teams aren't a normal business. And sports owners, and I'm going to be saying things like, you can't do this, you can't do this. Of course they can. They're billionaires. They can do whatever the hell they want. And I'm unleashing the profanity. I'm unlocking my profanity meter here, because this is just I don't want to say an epidemic, because we've gone through what an epidemic and a pandemic is within the past few years, but it's a real problem. I know that we've had relocation forever. I mean, this isn't even the Oakland Athletics' first stop. This is Las Vegas, assuming it happens, will be their fourth. They started in Philadelphia, were there for about 50 years. Connie Mack, Shive Field, Shard Park, all that jazz. Then they went to Kansas City for a can of corn. Then they came to Oakland. Their best run was in Oakland by far. But it's maybe the longest that they've been in one place. I think they were pretty close with Philadelphia. Anyway, it's a problem that these owners just don't seem to grasp what sports teams really are. They're not just a money-making proposition. And no owners these days really seem to grasp that, except for a small few. For me, Jeff Vinnick comes to mind, owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, soon to not be full owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning, which scares me because he's been an amazing owner. We won 2 cups because of him, and he resurrected the team from crap. It just seems like these days, unless you're a team like the New York Yankees or one of these legacy teams, your team is going to be on the chopping block every 30 years. And even the Yankees, they they got a huge bailout from the city too, to build their new stadium. I mean, all that land is like tax-free and stuff. I mean, I'm not even going to get started on the whole, basically holding cities and places hostage to get their funding. That's an entirely different discussion that would take me just as long as this. But there's a huge problem with these owners that, I looked it up. John Fisher's worth $3 billion with a B. He will never have any money troubles for the rest of his life. And he actually, more than not for the rest of his life, he has never had any money problems. His parents owned Gap. The dude has never had to worry about money in his goddamn life. And it shows. This is a man that is so completely tone deaf when it comes to what makes people's lives happy. People are willingly spending their hard-earned money to go to a complete shithole of a stadium, and I don't think anyone disagrees with me. The thing was leaking sewage. The thing was 50-something years old. I don't think anyone would disagree with me that the thing needed replacing. They were still spending 50, 100, whatever dollars to go see a team that makes their lives whole. You've got fanatics. They're raking in hand over fist. I mean, hell, you see, Fanatics has absolute dog shit merchandise when it comes to playoffs compared to, like, what does MLB put out? What does NBA put out? If you see what they put out for NHL, for the Stanley Cup champions, it's absolute crap. I, with very little graphic design experience, could make something better. But they don't. Here's why. Everyone is going to fork over their money because that team means something to them. And you see tons of people buying, Eastern Conference, not even winners. They just say Eastern Conference finalists. And people still buy these. I personally don't. I wait until we actually win the thing before buying the merchandise. But people have that unbelievable connection to their team, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to support the team, whether it's paying money to go to the games, wearing their jerseys. These people live and die by their teams. I think it's evolutionary, not to get too scientific-y, but we as mammals, as descendants of Neanderthals and all that wonderful stuff, we're very tribal in nature. That's why, we cheer every 4 years, every 2 years. We can put aside our differences and we all cheer for Team USA. We all cheer for Team Canada. What's that?
Speak for yourself.
So we're a very tribal species. Luckily, for the most part, we've gone away from like killing each other on the streets. I say mostly. I mean, just kind of like on a regular day to day, you know, we're so claned up together. But we get rid of that anger and that evolutionary stuff through sports. And it's in a healthier way. I mean, look what happened with Tua. He got injured, and everyone started. Buffalo Bills fans started donating to his charity. That is still a rivalry, the Bills and the Fish, or the Dolphins. Although I'm going to be honest, it's really not a rivalry right now. Sorry, Francisco. But
why are you saying sorry to me? You know,
I'm gonna have to defend the. I'm defending. It's a rivalry because both of them never go anywhere past the first round, so it's a rivalry.
Yeah, but at least
rivalry
Buffalo has actually gone somewhere recently, as opposed to the Dolphins that seem to flame out in December. But I digress.
I mean, you don't have to apologize to me. I expect the flame out. I actually want the flame outs at this point.
But my point being, it is a rivalry, but we've evolved enough that we realize at the end of the day, this is just a game. But when it comes to certain serious matters, like him getting a concussion or Bengals fans coming together to support Damar Hamlin after he died, literally, you see it all the time. I mean, even Michigan and Ohio State fans, they hate each other's guts. But if push comes to shove and something happened majorly to one of them, they're going to come together and be in support. That is vastly different from the way it used to be when we were less evolved creatures. But that still innate sense of wanting to belong to something, to some common entity, that still exists. That's not going away. It's just been redirected into a more healthier way. John Fisher, the owner of the Calgary Flames, the owner of the Montreal Expos, all of these guys just don't give a shit. It's more than not giving a shit. I don't think they even understand. They can't even comprehend because they are just that detached from what it means to be a regular person. They have more money than any of us will make in our lifetimes quintupled, and I'm even being nice there. This guy's got $3 billion. He is never going to hurt for money again in his life, nor has he ever. And if he's 63, that's near retirement age, he could sell the team. He could sell the Athletics for, they're valued at $1.2 billion right now. He could sell them for $2 billion. I'm sure someone would take it over for $2 billion. He would never, already not really, but let's say he is somehow hurting for money, which he's not. That's a $2 billion payday right there. He will never have to worry about money for the rest of his life. He just either does not or chooses not to understand that pro sports teams in general, are more than just money makers, because their customers, I don't see anyone going around and, there being a massive Walmart versus Target rivalry, like you do in sports. And the only reason that this kind of stuff doesn't happen with colleges and universities is because you can't move a university like that. Although, just by saying this, I'm sure some college president is maybe thinking of something. So who knows, maybe in 20 years we'll start seeing college realignment. and I'm not talking about conference realignment. But for $2 billion, think of this, for $2 billion, John Fisher would make not even costing. He is receiving $2 billion to make a whole region of a state unbelievably happy. And he's choosing not to do it because he thinks he can squeak a few extra $1 billion, a few extra bucks out of it. And he hasn't, I looked it up. Their payroll, the A's payroll, has gone down since it was in 2004, which was the last year before he owned it. They're spending less on players now than they did 20 years ago. And that was in the Moneyball era. He has invested nothing in this team at all. And he has stopped or hampered any sort of stadium negotiation every step of the way. You had San Jose as a possibility. You had Howard Terminal as a possibility. There were, I think, altogether five different possible sites that they could have gone to. They may not have been in Oakland proper, but they would have been real damn close. But he worked against it every single step of the way to make sure it didn't happen, actively sabotaging it. I don't understand what would make someone want a team so much that you're going to uproot it from the people that care about it. No, I do care. I do understand. They want to make money. I get it. We're a capitalist society for that reason. Everyone wants more money. But how much more money is he going to get moving to Las Vegas? He's getting a stadium. That's about it. No one is going to go to the games. It's not going to have the emotional attachment that the Vegas Golden Knights have. Look at the Golden Knights versus the Raiders. No one is going to those Raider games. They don't care about the team as much as they care about the organic Golden Knights. You see a lot of times.
The Raiders also naturally have a bad team, though. Like the Golden Knights at least built something. Like the Raiders have been asked.
People go to Raiders games, but they're opposing fans for the most part.
That's what I mean, though.
We also hate the Raiders, so it's easy to like.
I liked. You know what? It was funny was not. I don't like it, but Fisher in his like farewell message to A's fans. Well, not even a farewell message. It was basically like, "Oh man, we can't wait for the future" type of thing. Was like talking. We can't wait to make athletics fans all over the world happy. That type of thing. It's like they're trying to make it seem like fans, they're making it seem like they're Raiders. Raiders fans, like, despite the fact they haven't been in LA in forever.
Raiders are at least multi-state.
Yeah, they're one of the few teams that have that's moved, and the fans still stay Raiders fans. Even like in Oakland and LA and now Vegas, they're still hardcore, diehard Raiders fans. But A's fans, like, it's not the same for baseball. We don't see that. It's never happened anywhere where a team has left, gone to the other city, and the city that they left is still like really into that old team. If you want to, the A's aren't the Raiders, right? They left Philly and they left Kansas City, and none of those cities give a shit that they left. And so the fun thing, Raiders, like A's fans all over, like they're gonna go to Sacramento, and yeah, they might have some fans that are already A's fans that are gonna like the fact that they'll have a team there for like a couple seasons, but like they'll go to Vegas, and unless that team is actually winning and they're spending money, nobody's gonna go see
under Moneyball because it's no great concept.
It's nobody's going to actually go see them. Like it would have I think the same thing would have happened to Vegas with the Golden Knights in a way. If the Knights were just awful to start like every other expansion team, I think it would be a little bit different. I think they'd kind of be doing the whole struggling thing that other Southern Sunbelt franchises went through, like Nashville or Atlanta, like the same way in comparison. But they were pretty good. They went to the final of first season. They've stayed good ever since. So I don't know. I think Vegas, maybe with the Golden Knights, probably the one team. But unless the A's are actually really good once they get there, I doubt that they'll have the success that they expect to be having. And I don't think Major League Baseball fans, yeah, sure, are going to travel for those series in Vegas. Because, I don't know, it's different. I don't know if Las Vegas is going to be the same. Like, I don't know if anybody wants to go to Vegas in the summer when it's hot for a sport like that. I think that the Diamondbacks kind of have faced the same sort of issues, and it's what the Marlins have issues with. Because it's why the Panthers and like NBA and NHL do pretty good in Sunbelt places. It's because we have snowbirds that kind of boost attendance and sponsorships and stuff like that. But baseball, not the same. You have to be a little more deep with it for a long time for people to actually get on board with it. And I think very few teams, man, of the expansion teams from the last, since like the 90s, probably the only team that's been really good at it has been Colorado for whatever reason. But I think they're the cucks of baseball anyways.
Well,
would
you venture and say that the Nationals are an expansion? I know they're a move team from Montreal, but like some of these
but they had a decent team that went to DC. Like their first season in Washington expansion was like a 500 team, and they tanked, but they got Strasburg and Harper, and they actually made the playoffs like 6 years in.
They had the double Zimmermans.
Yeah, and they had Zimmerman. Yeah, they had Zimmerman. They had a team that was built up at the very least going forward. But
and let me add something to this as well. That does relate specifically to Oakland.
And maybe Oakland could have the same thing, but if they have like a slightly below 500 team, I don't know if that's gonna really tickle the pickles of people in Vegas.
Yeah, I agree. It's a Hail Mary, to use mixed sports metaphors, I guess. But it's a Hail Mary play in the hopes that they're spending 3 years in Sacramento. They don't have any semblance of a stadium deal right now. It always seems to be starting and stopping. The site that they're supposedly wanting to use is a little hotel that's not anywhere close enough to fit a major league stadium, let alone what they will inevitably want, which is a ballpark building.
I think they would have one of, if not the smallest footprint in baseball of the stadium.
I think it's 70 acres?
Like the smallest one right now is Minnesota. Minnesota's got the smallest one right now. That's because they built theirs in the middle of a city. And even then, Vegas may not even get the team. You know who could undercut them is Utah, because they're trying to get every team right now.
It's like, but here's the other thing that differentiates Oakland from all these other ones. Yes, it's sad that the Expos left Montreal. Yes, it's sad. Who's another team that's left recently, relocated? The Rams, the Chargers. I hate those owners, or to quote the incredible urinating treat, "Fuck you, Spanos."
I think.
There's one thing that all those cities have that this one doesn't. They all had a team still remaining. Oakland is completely gone of teams now. The Raiders left. Then the Golden State Warriors left. Now the Athletics left, all in a span of 5 years. They went from having 3 pro teams to none. And this is not some little tiny city that couldn't support one team, let alone 3. They certainly could. The fans are definitely diehard enough to support a team. It's just a crying shame that a sports town like that went from being easily able to support all 3 teams to not having anything. I think that's what makes this even more fragile, even more tragic, because at least Rams fans could still hang their hat on the Blues and the Cardinals. At least Expo fans still had the Canadians. At least LA, at least San Diego still had the Padres, although whether that's a good thing or not entirely sure at this point. My point being, they still had someone they could support. Oakland fans don't. And they've had their heart truly, completely ripped out. And there's nothing else for them to do. I'm not putting down the Oakland Ballers or these other teams that are trying to fill the void. They're doing a great service. But nothing is going to replace a team in one of the major pro leagues. I wish owners had a little more common sense. Not common sense. They had a little more emotional IQ to see what I'm doing is hurting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. The city of Oakland has 430,000 people. I looked it up. My guess is that their fandom expands beyond the city limits. So there's probably millions of Oakland sports fans. I don't. It boggles my mind.
I guess because we're coming up at an hour.
I
guess to close it out, they could have made this a lot better. You made the Padres example. I mean, the Padres are the only game in town in San Diego, and they are rabid for them right now. Whether you can whatever with the Padres or whatever, but they're still. I mean, they're going to those games in droves right now, and then the team's actually good this year. And whether they actually do anything with it, who cares? But it could have been the same for Oakland. They could have been Oakland's team with just a not even like the biggest ballpark, or just a nice venue. They could have teared down the Coliseum and just built something new on top of it. But they chose to go the other way. And whether it works out in Vegas, we'll see. If not, he'll sell the team. He'll still make more money because of the fact that the team will be in Vegas and their valuation will probably go up. So either way, he wins in the end, and everybody else loses.
I'm praying that if and when he inevitably sells the team, someone from Oakland is still going to be there ready to take the call.
Yeah, I doubt Major League Baseball would even do that, but you know how it is.
You never know. There are still Miami-based fans that wanted to take ownership of the Marlins. I'm sure someone like that would still exist for the Athletics in 10, 20
somebody
years.
with big pockets, maybe, but or they could finally do that expansion, which I think baseball's going to do anyways. And yeah,
Bless you.
Alrighty. So we are 1 hour.
Final thoughts by Charles. Athletics suck. Billy Bean, Moneyball sucks. It never worked. Get over it. Movie sucked.
All right. So an hour in, word from non-sponsors and people, places, things, concepts that we've been enjoying over the last week. And I don't know who wants to start this week because I think I've been starting lately.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I need to. So the name of the company is Foss Power. FOSPOWER.
Okay.
I just purchased their emergency weather radio a couple of days ago in preparation for Helene, which could have hit us directly. I highly recommend that everyone has a weather radio. This one is great because it has 3 power possibilities. You have solar, you have battery, and you have hand crank. So this thing is not going to run out of power. It has 3 radio options. You have your FM, you have your AM, and you have weather bands. So NOAA weather specifically. It comes with 2 flashlights, a compass, and I'm not even going to demonstrate it, but it has a loud siren as an SOS. So this can be used for more than just hurricane situations or storm situations. If you're ever in trouble, if you're in Boy Scouting, this would be a great thing to get. It was pretty cheap. It was only, I think, $35, not including shipping and all that stuff. But it's handheld, very handy. I'm hoping I won't have to use it anytime soon, but the fact that I do have it is quite nice. Makes me feel a little bit more safer and secure. So for anyone who lives, I would recommend anyone get it, but particularly if you live in a place like Florida or in the Midwest where you have a lot of natural disasters, I would recommend getting this or another kind of at minimum just a NOAA weather radio, some kind of emergency radio. But I would definitely recommend getting this. Promo code Weather Ready.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, it's got the whole shebang. Okay. All right. So I guess I'll go. So mine would be, I'm gonna go with Jackbox games.
Good choice.
Ooh.
I don't think I did them in the past, given the fact that, but maybe I did. Maybe I did back in season whatever. But especially during 2020. However, I'm gonna go back to it right now. So yeah, Jackbox games. Recently, yeah, it was my birthday, and on Monday, even though it wasn't my birthday, it was the day we celebrated it, and I went through this with the Jackbox games here. So they asked me to bring in my Switch. I was like, yeah, I got this thing and whatever. So we brought it in. I set it up on the TV in the break room, and while we were eating our food from the Jess salads and stuff like that, we got it together and we played, and everybody was having a really good time with the game. It's easy for casuals to get into because you don't need any game controllers, you just need your phones. And we played Gaspionage. I love this game. This is really fun, where you just guess poll questions and see if you can get the percentage right. And but they got other games here. Of course, they got all the different packs. I've got 4 of them to play with. And I was playing with my family before that, and I think it was really big during the pandemic when we were all stuck inside, especially people just going on other people's streams on Twitch or YouTube and playing with randos online. And you can still do that now. It's still possible. You can still probably find somebody who's trying to get some people together and do that. But for actual human beings in the same room and everything like that, a party setting for sure, even an office setting, as I'm just telling you right now, it's nice to kind of get people into it with something more interactive than your basic topic cards, physical topic cards, and things like that. Because you can play with so many other different things here, and easy for people to get into. Just go on the website, log in with your phone, and they make it short, sweet, and to the point. You don't have to create an account or anything like that. You just put in the code that they show on the screen, and you're good to go. And some of these games have like you can put in 8 players. You can even online you can have more than 100 or something like that. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun, and even if maybe 1 or 2 games aren't to your liking, you'll probably find in each pack probably one in there at the very least that will make you think, this was pretty worth it. So, Jackbox Games, promo code Spies, because it was a espionage game. That's really fun. Recommend it. All right.
All right. Well, I guess I'm next, so I think this is an easy one to kind of speak about. So on the topic of gaming, your boy, since July 27th, has taken on to the adventure of RPGing continuation. Remember, it's the year of the RPG, the CharPG, is what we said. And I started in late July Cyberpunk 2077. I have somehow beaten Cyberpunk 2077. And you can get it on whatever appropriate console is needed. It will behoove you to get it onto, if you get the PS5, just get the free upgrade just get a PS4 disc and just upgrade it. You don't have to pay the extra money. But I got the combo when I was doing that, and then the Phantom Liberty DLC went on sale, so that was pretty neat. Pretty neat coming into it. So it took about 63 hours to beat it. And mind you, this is a game that has many endings that you can go with, about 4, technically 5, I think. But to give you a clear cut through, this is Project Red's baby. If you remember, it came out, 2018 and 2019 to a lot of controversy.
Was it 2020? It was during 2020, man. We were stuck inside, right?
Well, I don't know if it was they made the upgraded version, because I remember it being...
Yes, it was. It was 2020. It was 2020 because it came out on the PS5 and the Xbox Series, and that's when those games were that's when they first came out.
It came out, to give insight, it came out in the PS4 and the Xbox One and the PC, and it was very buggy, very broken, messed up. So CD Projekt Red took its time to change it and make it better, and they gave it the proper upgrades. I'm playing it right now as we speak, but once they redid it, people were telling me game of the year. And here's the thing about my buddy Ross. Here's the thing about me that you guys need to know. When it comes to gaming, I don't have much I don't want to say imagination. I don't have a lot of qualifications. You tell me something's good, I'll watch the first hour of it on YouTube, and then make the appropriate decision to go from there. But it's a futuristic setting. It has Keanu Reeves as Johnny Silverhands, and we love Keanu, but it's an RPG shooter with all this other stuff where you choose your own options. I've only played one CD Projekt Red game, that was The Witcher 2, and I didn't like it because I thought the first 6 hours are great, and then I got bored with it. But I have Witcher 3, remake, remastered, upgrade PS5 version, next gen console, whatever you want to call it, and I picked this up, and after 65 hours, I like it a lot. I don't meet right it the way that my buddy has and other people have. I'm giving it an 8.5. I think the shooting is good. I think it's violent. I think the side stories are actually quite fantastic. The very long, side stories. The main story is fine. The ending I was recommended to take, I actually didn't like for reasons I don't really want to spoil for people. But there's a problem I have where full circle is too full circle for my liking. But there's multiple endings, and here's the thing: when it's a game like an RPG that has other endings, and you see Idris Elba there in the Phantom Liberty DLC, which I'm playing right now, which is supposed to be the epilogue and mid-story at the same time. But you'll hear how some games will have multiple endings if you do certain choices. Dishonored is an example of it, right? Even though it's really about the choices that you make. This game's endings, and it's been a year since Phantom Liberty came out. This game's endings actually have different missions leading to it, so it actually entices me to want to play the other options because I'm getting different missions, if that makes sense. So I liked it. I kind of hate the driving. I thought it could have been better, but they made their money back. They fixed it. They owned up to it that they made a mistake. They've done what they can. The technology is available too, because this was probably a couple of generations ahead, so they're catching up. Fantastic game to play if you have an OLED or a high-running PC. I would recommend to you, Francisco. It's dirt cheap, really. You can just go to GameStop, get a used copy for like $15, or just buy it off of Amazon for $20, and you're in a game that's going to give you about 64, 65-hour storyline. It's kind of easy too. You didn't really die a lot into this. You do get some good building of how you could build your V, so to speak. V is the main character. You can play around with what your hair looks like, your character looks like. If you go for male, you can make your penis size as ever big as you want. So for you men who are inadequate, there you go. For people who hate full or who love full integratedness into their gaming, but pretty good with the PS5 controller too. Because remember, whenever I play a game on the PS5, the one thing I have to evaluate is the dual sense. Like, how does it work for it? So the driving feels good, even though I hate the way the driving mechanics are. I love the sensation of the controller, and also how I'm shooting this gun going from there. I love Keanu Reeves in this game. There's something about him that I appreciate, how he's utilized, how he characterizes himself in this character, Johnny Silverhand's, the quips and everything. And I'm just glad Keanu's getting a lot of love. We obviously love the John Wick series for multiple reasons. But
was he breathtaking?
He was breathtaking. He was breathtaking.
He shot
I'm
on the
not gonna lie.
hedgehog.
He is one of the charming characters in the game. That was the whole run when he got reveals. Like, you're breathtaking, you're breathtaking. But he is a well utilized character. The voice acting is pretty good too, and I think that matters a lot when you're doing a big ass game 7, where you have good character models, good things. Like, to give you some insight, and I know I'm stealing a little bit, but to sell it to people who are like maybe straight away, I got to help a child abduction ring in one storyline. I got to crucify somebody on TV, or not choose to. You have to play that story to understand why it matters, and it doesn't matter because it matters to the person being crucified. I got to like jump and pull off kind of like a heist, and also like lead to some corporate overhaul. And remember, I don't care about corporations. I think that they're all evil and corrupt and they hate people. So anything with the corporal bring down, I'm for it. So there's other missions, of course, but there's a lot of missions that I kind of like that came off of being cool and hit and complemented maybe my personality a little bit. Not that I'm going to be a renegade like Johnny Silverhand and do some terroristic attacks. No, NSA, no, FBI, I wouldn't do that. But I think it was just cool to play it out. So 8.5 out of 10, and I am separating the scores between Cyberpunk and Phantom Liberty because they are in theory 2 separate games, but it's a mid and post or an epilogue DLC that comes in. But if it's 8.5 and I've put in like 70 hours at this point, we've done its job. And yeah, it's a very long game, but you know what happened, guys? After the first 15 hours, I don't know where the next 75 went because I was just screwing around. And that's what's good about those kind of games. So I'll look forward to Witcher 3. Cyberpunk, play it. It's time. You guys should do it. Do it when Cyberpunk 2 comes around. Pan Am's great too. We love her.
Are you going to get into the that Netflix show or whatever?
Edge Runner? Maybe. I can just binge whatever and go from there. They made like an update to make it pseudo like complementary to the game. Like they give you like 1 or 2 missions based off of it. But Cyberpunk is actually cool in this concept of it, and if you like Blade Runner, then it will like complement your liking and viewing of it, and maybe it will integrate you. I will say this: there's too many upgrades that you can do to your person, like how they want to do net running and stuff like that. If they want to be a net runner, if they just want to be all tech and stuff like that, and it kind of like, what's the point if you've already like maxed out certain things? But it's worth your time now. It's dirt cheap. Like if I told you can get 80 hours out of a game or 70 hours out of a game by just paying $20, wouldn't you want that? Because it's not like fatty. It's not like playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I enjoyed, but that game was 25 hours too long. So Cyberpunk, I've talked too much about it. Go play it. Kind of, it's 8.5. So at the hype, not worth the hype, but at the hype. Promo code CHOOM, CHOOM. Anybody who plays it will know why.
All right. Okay, so let's see, 115. So as far as topics are concerned, well, you did want to talk about a gaming thing, right, Charles?
Well, I mean, I kind of talked about
news.
Cyberpunk, but we had you had asked about Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah.
Yotei. And,
Yotei.
Yotei. You are getting Echoes of Wisdom real soon. So we could steal this to be like a 10-minute gaming session, and then we kind of move on with our lives. Maybe we'll kind of have a update of where we're at with Game of the Year list too. So I'll kind of take the lead a little bit into it. So your boy's a gamer, but 2024 hasn't really been the year of let's play every single game known to mankind and outpace myself. I played a lot of RPGs this year, and I was like, man, like I'm never gonna catch up. But I'm just here for the experience. So PlayStation, whatever you feel about the PS5 Pro or not, I really don't care. You're an individual. You take your own feelings. I take my own feelings. I go from there. But they had the State of Play direct that came on, and they showed Ghost of Yotei, which is supposed to take 300 years from Ghost of Tsushima. And I love Ghost of Tsushima. I actually had it as my game of the year when it came out. Edged over, even though I gave Last of Us 2 a higher score than Ghost of Tsushima, I still like Ghost of Tsushima more. That's how it works sometimes, guys. You know what's the best, but you know what your favorite is. And I'm excited for it. I like anything samurai kind of based to it. They're going to probably fix a little bit of some of the stuff that I had complaints on the game for, like the meandering, like open world missions that they had, everything like that. The combat was fantastic, but it's a perfect use of this Ramona television I have, perfect use of this PS5 and these dual edges. And some people are upset that you can't play as Jin because it's 300 years down the line. But fine, they're making a Ghost franchise. When you think about it, it to me is the same equivalent of like Assassin's Creed. When you think about it, you keep the same mechanics, but you're no longer Ezio or Alatar. You're all these other people as well. That's fine. Let them do it. So I'm super excited because remember when we came back in our season premiere, what I said about the benefit of the PS5 Pro, Francisco, was like we're going to get games actually made in the base form of the PS5 and then up. This is that example. I was right. Suck it. I was correct about this whole concept, and it makes me very happy. So I think it looks good. You can play Ghost of Tsushima on your PC, so maybe you should get an attempt to it if you just want to start wearing headbands.
I still haven't played God of War yet, so I gotta get... Or bought Spider-Man, or,
Yeah. Well,
or Horizon.
Well, sometimes I reflect on that franchise, and maybe I think I just drank that Kool-Aid because I thought Zero Dawn, which is also getting a remake, that was also announced on the State of Play, it was good. And then Forbidden West, I actually think a lot about it. And I'm like, I think I actually have to dock a full point from it. So instead of the 8.5, I should just give it a 7.5 for reasons I don't need to go invest into the show. But and when they make a Cyberpunk 2, then I can just play that on my PlayStation 5 that's on the base level. It'll be fantastic. But Ghost of Yotei, I'm interested into it. A lot of discourse on the Twitter. By the way, follow us on the Twitter, everybody. Charles the True, Dan Frijoles, FJOJR, Sports_Goofs. Panthers Historian's coming up. Marlins Historian's gonna.
I might cover games this season. So
Game Historian.
Andrew, your mic is like. Feels like you're. Are you sharpening a katana over there because of Ghost Chewy?
A tanto.
Yeah. But in any case, yeah. So I might be covering games this season again for like the first time in years, because I might actually have a life again, guys. It's strange a little bit, but yeah.
Well, so this brings into the 2/3 of the way through.
Because that was Ghost. I want to cover the other games that were announced.
Sure.
So let me just find their website. If I can actually type in here, I cannot. Oh, here we go. Just reset it. There we go. We're on the fly. And okay, let's go. State of Play. Not the movie.
I mean, there is something that was announced that's very important from that State of Play.
That's why I want to get to it. So let's see. Here we go. State of Play on Sony's actual website. Okay. So we've got. Let's go down. All right. So we saw everything revealed in the State of Play. Let's go. Let's pick this one. All right. Well. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. You know what? I'm just going to IGN, right? They've got it.
Yeah, that's easier. That's easier if you do it that way.
IGN.
I mean, I was on GameSpot or IGN. They had it.
Here we go. All right, cool beans. Okay, thank you. So we're going down the list here. and State of Play, see all the games they announced. So we saw Yote, Monster Hunter
Yay.
Wilds.
Eh,
Have you ever played a Monster Hunter game? I've only played like a demo on the Wii.
I tried the demo try,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay. But the thing is, I hate at 35, and I felt this way for the last 5 years. I hate games that make bosses just sponges.
Mm.
You can have it where it's like a RPG where you have to be on the same level. Fine,
Yeah.
I get it. You can have it where you give me different options. The same reason why I don't kind of like want to do Wukong Black Myth, because I heard it's just unnecessarily hard, and the same reason why I don't do any of the From Software games, because it's like you're not, when you're just sponges, when there's a big disparity between what you do and what you don't do and the hitting effect and the offense, I'm like, eh. And I understand I'm very like generalizing those games.
Mhm.
I get it. Please, for the 2 people who listen might play those games, don't get crazy. But like, no.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Astrobot free. Did you buy Astrobot? Did you get Astrobot?
I did. I got it for free because
Oh,
I
okay.
learned that the Best Buy certificates work on pre-orders,
Ah.
and the monster that has been created from that knows no bounds. So that might be my little bridge to gap, because I'm not gonna
Mhm.
play out all of.
Yeah, you get a
Cyberpunk
nice
after
3D
just finishing
platformer.
it. That very refreshing. It looks charming as hell. And
Mhm.
remember, we're the generation of platformers, and we were the generation of very hard platformers. So
Yeah.
I am ready. I am ready to
So-
dedicate 13 hours to
So
it.
get free DLC for that. There you go. The Midnight Walk. That's a VR game.
Sure.
So it's
Don't do VRs, but if I did, sure.
Hell is Us.
Same logic.
Metro Awakening. But that's a
So-
VR one as well. You play?
Well, yeah,
I haven't
I
played a Metro. I have 2 Metro games. I haven't played them yet.
Well, remember, I played Metro.
2033 or Last Light, or whatever.
No, it was Exodus. Remember?
Exodus. Okay.
It was like almost 2 years ago, and then I gave it like a 7 out of 10 because that final mission was actually fantastic. What did I give it? I'm looking at it right now. It was fantastic, but there was like 7.5. But you just have to buy it too. But as a VR game, that's actually perfect. That they make everybody like radioactive.
Arc Age Chronicles. I don't know what that is.
Anything that's like that tongue tying, pass.
Okay. Pow World. Even though Nintendo's suing them right now.
Yeah, I mean, I already got one Pokemon. Why do I need Pokemon with guns?
Yeah. Let's see. Lunar Remastered Collection. I don't know what this is. I don't even know what this franchise is. Shadow the Hedgehog, the movie version, voiced by Keanu Reeves,
Fine.
in Sonic Generations, which is probably gonna get me to bite the bullet to buy that game again. And I love Sonic Generations, one of my favorite Sonic
you
games.
love Keanu.
And we are wrapping up to December, Charles. We're gonna go. It comes out December 20th. We're gonna have our little Christmas bro fest there. So yeah, Keanu as Shadow with an actual DLC bundle for that. Okay, I probably will buy this game again. I will probably buy this game again.
There. I have to finish Superstars first. Maybe I should
Yeah.
put
And you
Superstars now.
never played Generations, right? On the PS3
no, I did
or
not play
Xbox
Generations.
360.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, no, you'll have a good time with that one. It's a good game.
I had a very big gap in
Sonic.
in the Sonic games because there was the Sonic Black Knight review, and I was like, I'm good.
All right. TMNT DLC Radical Reptiles.
I love that game. I play it whenever I just want to do a quick beat 'em up.
It's
I played
out
it when it showed
now.
multiple times. But my thing is like, can I get more levels instead of characters?
Yeah.
Love
so-
Mona Lisa Monogekko. Love Karai, and then the other Yojimbo. But
Mhm.
like, can I just get additional levels? Because I played.
Oh, just give us a
I
sequel.
think
Sheesh.
3. Well, I don't need a sequel. Just give them more levels. Fine. They do have the They have the roguelike mode, but like, I also don't want to spend a lot of money.
I hate roguelites. Yeah.
But when it comes to a beat 'em up, it's perfect because you don't know what you're getting.
I guess so. Yeah, with the randomization and stuff, that's fine. But you still need randomization of like the level designs and stuff like that, right? In a way,
Yeah.
a little bit. Okay, let's see. Fantasia Neo Dimension. Okay.
If I
sure.
can't pronounce it, I am buying it.
Fantasia Neo Dimension. All right. Dragon Age: The Veil Guard. I have like 2 Dragon Age games I haven't played on my PC. So
Meh. I gotta skip RPGs for a bit, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm already stuck a little bit here.
the Lake House.
Well, say that for last. Let's
Yeah.
go through this week because we're gonna get Andrew to eventually play Alan Wake.
And now we know the Lake House is whatever, and you get the physical version that's coming out, which comes with Alan Wake 1 for anybody who's really wants to get into this franchise. Probably now's the time. Now's the time. And if you wait for the DLC and everything to come out, you'll get the full game. You'll get Alan Wake 1, you'll get all of Alan Wake 2, and by playing the final draft after they released Night Springs, Charles, they have found a way to kind of semi-seamlessly integrating the Night Springs episodes into the main story.
I'm not surprised.
So it's optional, but
Sam
if you've
is
never
playing chess while we're playing checkers.
It's optional, but I didn't know it was optional until I actually triggered the actual episode to pop in again. I'm like, well, hold on, I didn't want to play this right now, and I realized, oh, that's for the people who are just now getting into this game. So whoever, like the I guess, because Control had an Ultimate Edition. So you'll get Alan Wake 2 Ultimate Edition, which will basically have the entire thing seamless. And I mean, you played the Ultimate Edition. I played the Ultimate Edition, right?
Correct.
For Control. So the DLC for that didn't feel like DLC. It felt like
Giancarlo just hit a grand slam. Oh no, it wasn't a grand slam, but he drove in 4 out of 5. I almost came.
There we go. Either way, and then Hitman VR. So they're really laying into the PSVR.
Does anybody like those games?
I heard 3 was really good. I heard 3 was like...
You have like 12 options, and I couldn't care for any of them.
Yeah. But I think the latest Hitman, I think it was probably the closest you'll get to real like good stealth outside of Metal Gear Solid 5. So there you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can throw one of the Splinter Cells in there if you want to be like not a chode.
I have one. I think I have like 2 Splinter Cell games on my PC too, but that game hasn't been made in forever.
No.
Soul Reaver remasters. So
Meh.
Legacy of Kain. That's a PS2 games, right? What are these?
Yeah. Oh no, PS1 games.
PS1 games.
I remember playing it on my PS1. Okay, kids, we're about to age myself here, and trust me, I've been feeling my age more and more every day, and the depression. So I remember this coming in when I got my PlayStation 1 because kids back in the day, you couldn't just buy your consoles outright. You can go to like, I guess the equivalent was like Buddies or whatever, and go to the rental places where you just pay it on go when you don't have like credit. And I remember like the little demo disc when you have PlayStation Magazine. I remember playing Legacy of Kain from it. My problem is that I looked at the remaster like, Charles, do you want to revisit something that you can play at 8 because you can financially afford it? It probably was a little stupid. I go, no, because it's ugly as hell. Just make a full remake, man. Don't be sloppy.
Yeah. Lego Fortnite. Getting split screen. Who cares? Dynasty Warrior Origins. I don't know
They're
if you.
fun. They're fun.
They're fine. I mean, I love Hyrule Warriors. That's for sure. But you turn off your brain games.
I would pay $15 for it and not question a single bit of it.
Yeah. And you'll get it'll be a long game. You'll get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
If you
we got
really,
like 30
really
plus hours out of the Hyrule ones.
Yeah. I mean, I think I
100%
of that game. Actually, that's how much I played it. It was during the pandemic. So
yeah.
Monster Hunter Wilds. So we talked about that already. Lego Horizon Adventures.
Why? Just why?
So a Lego version of Horizon.
Remastered and...
Yeah. So
what is up? Why do we care about these Lego games? They're cute. They're charming. They've almost been in play for 15 damn years.
Yeah. They're pretty simple too. Pretty simple games. I think I beat Lego Harry Potter. That was like the one. I have several of them. They're giving them away now.
Yeah, they give them away for free. I got a bunch.
Yeah, I got Lord of the Rings. I got I think one of the Star Wars ones, and I think what else did I get? Maybe one of the Marvel. I have 2 of the Marvel.
No, the
ones.
villain. I have like the villains ones. There's Lego Batman that you can.
I have Lego City Undercover, but those are on my Wii U, and I was just done. I'm like, I'm not playing these. I'm retiring the Wii U. So Horizon Zero Dawn, Stellar Blade, and Nier. Right, whatever. We already talked about Ghost of Yotei.
Yes.
And then PlayStation Plus October games, Dead Space, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, which I do have and I haven't played yet, and WWE 2K24.
They hit me. I was kind of playing. I'm like, do I want to get it now because it hit like $30? And they're like, no, we got you, fam. I don't know what a wrestling game is doing during the spooky season. I played Dead Space last year. Definitely recommend it. It was a good ass game. But 9, 8. But WWE, I was like, sure, this is perfect for me because they'll have the me and my boys will play, and I'm going to Bad Blood, so let's hype me up even more so. And the servers will be up until like February 2026, so perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Towers of Agazba, open world biome building adventure game. Developers described it as an indie title as a mix of Animal Crossing, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Studio Ghibli's Nausicaa. All right, good luck with that. Chroma collection for the PS5 Pro and the covers and stuff like that.
Sure.
Teal, love teal. They're like iridescent in a way, so it's the color scheme there. Fear the Spotlight. And then what else? Am I missing something? This is the end of the article.
I feel well. We have a lake house, so
yeah. All right. So back to the lake house. So we're at Alan Wake 2, and October's coming up, Charles.
Spooky season.
Spooky season. I've got Zelda coming up, so I am playing that.
You kind of did spooky season ahead of time.
I haven't. Yeah. Well, I wanted to do the final draft so I could get to the lake house early. I really wanted to play it, but I wanted to see the final draft and actually see it through to the end.
Why couldn't they just give us a release date? Why are you just gonna Sam? Like, why are you just?
They know it's happening in October. But why
are you gonna say October?
It can't be October 31st. They can't do it just on Halloween.
They're gonna drop it the week of the anniversary of the first game or the last game's release too, which was a year ago, which was like October 20 something.
Yeah, so it'll probably be then. And then we've got so October. So I've got Zelda, and given the way the reviews are, I'm probably going to be a good deal into that game. And knowing me, if I'm really into a game, I'll probably blast through it within like a week and a half, probably, or even probably less so. So that would give me enough time to play another game, and I actually should play a spooky game this spooky season. That's not just Alan Wake. And I've got some options there. I've got like the Evil Within 2. I forgot.
I've played, but heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard like, I guess maybe not. They're not on the par of Remedy, obviously, but they do kind of give you that nice little fright there. So I've got options. There's some other games there that I've never heard of that kind of obscure with that. And we'll see. But yeah, this is gonna be good. This lake house.
Yeah, I gotta find out if I have time to actually put in spooky season.
Essentially, what'll probably be like what we're probably playing in the lake house is probably like a trailer for Control 2.
Well, you're playing as Karen. That's what I'm getting, or Estevez, whatever her name is. Which is good because I actually liked her character in 2, and it really, I think it's going to be a segue where you're going to get the story of what happened when you first meet her in the police station, but then you're going to get like a hint of like post FBC stuff. And that's all I need. And remember, when we played Night Springs, even though I think I guess Torn Up a Boy I think was the best story, but the thing is like Jesse in that engine was like, this is what I need them to do. With the way they did the coloring and stuff like that, and the spooky powers, because that was a question I posed in the chat many weeks ago. Like, I don't think we're playing as Jesse, and does Jesse's powers even activate outside of the oldest house? So, being able to look at it as Estevez, who has very limited skills in just a firearm with whatever nonsense they're doing there. Which, if you guys have not played Alan Wake 2, when you play it in the dead of night with headset on, you're gonna poop yourself.
Yeah,
straight up. But we're excited because I think this will make our journey complete a little bit. Because I don't know about you, I still have Wake 2 as my game of the year so far of what I played. And Cyberpunk will be maybe number 2, but Wake, I don't see anything that's going to have a fighting chance to come close to it.
It's a slow year. It's a slow year as far as new releases are concerned. Yeah.
Maybe Paper Mario, if I really fall in love with it in December.
Oh, Mario and Luigi Brothership, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can do. I can't. I'm RPG'd out, man. Turn-based to a degree.
I know, but a Mario one's a soft one, so it's not that bad. You know that.
Well, I mean, Wonder got a 9, but Wonder's actually going to be 3rd on my list.
Yeah.
Because it was great. It was pretty great, but it doesn't trump Wake, and I don't know if it trumped like Cyberpunk. Kind of did to a degree. Kind of didn't. It's weird. It's a weird.
Yeah, we're at the end of September now. This will be the last episode for September. The next one will be in October. And, I mean, this year is slow for me compared to the last 3, which I've completed 300 games. And, of varying degrees, obviously, but...
Actually, no, I like Pikmin 4 would be number 2.
But, yeah, and you still haven't even completed that one yet.
I haven't done the Olimar stuff. I'll probably do that like the next show to switch it to that.
But it's good they left it optional at the very least, so you don't have to play it. 2024, 26 games completed. Alan Wake 2 stands above and beyond the rest right now. I've got, let's see, what that's my I rated it 9 out of 10, but man, this lake house might push it, it might push it up to that, I don't know, that 10 out of 10, just depending, right?
Yeah. See, I kept it at 9.5 because one, the music was just such an integral part of the thing that I'm still listening to the album, the soundtrack, even like 8 months after. The Heroes and Villains by Poets of the Fall,
and watching all the lore videos and everything like that. I've been just consuming that like crazy.
And then knowing what the final draft ending was just fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see. The other game I poured a ton of time into was Need for Speed Heat.
Hey, sometimes you need those games.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. It's a good, like, out of all of EA's franchises, they rarely, if ever, screw up the Need for Speed games. So I think that was pretty good. Obviously, I played Minecraft, and I get it. I get it now. I understand why people like those games and how you can get into it. I beat Kid Icarus Uprising this year. It's a good game, but it needs to be remade. Like, they have to remake that game because you'll get carpal tunnel just by playing it on the 3DS, and you just can't. It deserves a remake. Actually, Sakurai really, he doesn't have to make a new Smash Bros. Games if he doesn't want to, but he can make a remake of Kid Icarus because I think he's onto something there with that, and the way he presents games is different than other Nintendo developers, like the head honcho guys. So I think he's one of those guys that has a flair for the cinematic in comparison to other guys at Nintendo. Let's see, and I guess Alan Wake, Kid Icarus Uprising is the only thing that stands out, as well as Paper Mario Origami King. I played through that too. And I guess these are like my top 5, I guess, and this last one would probably be this game called Reventure. Really fun little indie game where there's 100 or actually 101 different endings, and the endings are can be as short as like 1 second into the game, or just you're 5 hours in and you're trying to get the other endings. So it's a fun little 2D game. You get some references to other video games in it, for sure, and you'll get a laugh out of it. For 5 hours, I think for 5 hours for $5, you can't go wrong with that. That's my year so far. But we got Zelda, we got Mario and Luigi, and this lake house, and I don't really have anything else I'm really looking forward to right now. Really just trying to get through the true backlog right now.
Which is all I can tell you guys, to keep it brief and then we'll move on because Andrew's been quiet for a bit, so we'll integrate the team.
Hour 40 right now.
Is that we know Paper Mario will happen in December because we don't fucks with tradition, as Letterkenny says, 9. So there's always a Mario in December for whatever reason. I just like it like that.
Mm.
Maybe I could pop in Astrobot, but I need diversity. So Sonic and Astrobot probably going to be implemented. Princess Peach will probably be implemented for sure. I highly doubt that we will be getting any more RPGs this year. So no Dead Island, no Pokemon Scarlet, no Final Fantasy 16. I'm looking at my backlog now. Definitely no Witcher 3. That was always meant to be 2025. Metro
Yeah.
Prime Remaster that maybe can sneak in November.
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe. I need to separate a little bit from first-person shooting after investing all these hours in this, but it is possible.
Yeah, but Metroid's different than a regular first-person shooter, at least.
Yeah, but it's still like it's also 15 hours. So let me because the thing is between Astrobot, Metroid, Peach,
Astrobot's going to be a really good palate cleanser.
Yeah, well that's what I'm gravitating towards. I've just heard great things. Because got to remember one thing: there's a game coming out that I'm not going to put on the backlog list because it's going to have kind of like a lifetime kick. Like October 11th, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero comes out, and I'm getting that for free. 1, 2, me and my boys are going to play it on days we're not doing meds because it's going to be one of those easy pick up and play kind of gigs, and it is going to be the game show.
Yeah.
Or the show's game, whatever you want to phrase it as, when it's not hockey. Because when hockey season's back, I'll hit back up NHL 24, and I'll just do like updated rosters, I guess, to kind of figure out where everybody's at. But yeah, that's happening, and I will just I will mess you up with like a Frieza soldier. Like it doesn't matter. They have 181 characters. Sure, all I need. To this day.
Yeah. Okay. Hour 42. I don't know anything with you guys with regards to like football over the last week.
I'm going to see the Dolphins
for the coming week.
The Titans.
Yeah.
So I will be there Monday. I will let you know. And I don't care at this point. I realize I'm a jinx and I apologize because last time I went to see the Dolphins play, Ryan Tannehill got hurt, so I had to watch Jay Cutler. And now Tua is hurt, so I have to possibly watch maybe Ryan Tannehill again. Tim Boyle. So I'm going to be like the only person with a Titans hat. I'm going to say, bring it on. I took off Monday because I got to be in Miami.
So my senior attorney, she has season tickets, and she went to the Titans game last year.
Yeah. When they came back and won.
Yeah, she was like, it was quite a disaster. I'm like, yeah. That warmed my soul because that was around Christmas time, and because last year, Charles, you knew the Petty Dragon was like, last year was the year I felt most right about everything. That about the Miami Dolphins, everything that was, poor Doug when he finally saw the reality happening. Oh, okay.
And this is his last start. This season. And if his coal job is correlated to us winning the East, clinching it because we're up 7-0, it's good. I'll do a coal job analysis next week. Yeah. Go ahead, continue.
But in any case, anyways, that's old hack. But this season for the Dolphins, I just don't feel as much because Tua got hurt. So it feels better when they're at their peak because I know their peak isn't as good as other people's peaks. So. But Titans game will be fun. We'll see if Will Levis continues memeing. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saved some of his expressions just for my own entertainment. So.
Let's see what else over the course. Like any other NFL games that stick out to you. I'm gonna go on here and see what we got.
I mean, I won't give much into the NFL. It's been a better season. I'm just putting on the Cowboys Giants right now. I don't have much love.
14-6 Dallas right now.
Yeah, and it's just on Prime. It's just remember I was without internet for a couple of days, which guys, right. I was singing prison hymns. I
still have on the show notes. We still haven't talked about your Oreo journey over the course of the summer.
That might be next week.
Yeah, that'll be next week. Yeah,
had a little bit. Those Coke Oreos are just not good. But yeah, the Oreos are important. They're important. We did the Ruffles live test last week, and it was fantastic. I still have some. Destroy that. But I mean, I'm trying to be positive with both footballs, college and pro, mostly because of the fact that last year I was so disengaged from it. And I can't say I've kept to the pros stuff because it's only like week 4, so what does it really matter? But I know that the Falcons have had like back-to-back decent games to watch, not good games to win, but to watch.
Right.
So
they've been in it,
kudos.
but they've found ways to be at the Falcons at the end of games.
I will appreciate close games because I remember what I hated so much about college football. Sorry, Andrew, is like you have these limited games per season. What 11, 12, 13, something like that for some of these colleges, and a good portion of them might just be blowouts, and that sucks. Watching these like 40-3 games, I'm like, ugh. I'm dedicating some time to it. Even some of the Miami, I did watch the U game on Saturday. Yes, I was at Wild Wings, and just seeing them kind of blow out when it's like 50-15, it feels good. But let me see like a real team towards it.
Yeah,
but I'm trying. But
like
the college game I'm looking for this week, which is very important because what has fueled me for college football has been 2 things. One, hate on Mario Cristobal because we're certified haters here, and kind of hate on Colorado and Deion Sanders and UCF.
Oh boy!
I have not talked trash about UCF at all this season. I've given the kudos. They came back at TCU. But remember, I always talk trash about UCF. From the time I've been on the show, with Andrew's self-proclamation of championships, which sounds like sore losers in my eyes here. But I've been supportive. But it's going to be a feast for me regardless on Saturday. Either Deion loses, because I don't mind Shador. I don't mind Shallow. I don't mind Travis Hunter. I have a problem with like how Deion seems spoiled as a coach, and he'll just throw whatever it is controversial response to it, and how he's kind of handled certain things, media even responses there, without just kind of like I understand he's a personality, but that can work a year 1. College football is different than pros. It's like that hard shell breaks really quickly and goes to show its soft shell. Especially year 2 and 3 and 4, that goes on in the future. He's on year 2 here. But either Deion loses, and I can talk trash about him, saying that they ain't big time. But if UCF loses, especially since you guys are not part of the chat, where I feel like, and also following Andrew on the Twitter with Free the Pegasus and all that fun jazz, is the complaints about Gus, the complaints about the quarterback. I win either way because either one of those teams loses. I'm going to go all in on this because I'm looking at the Knights to be like my hope, right? My new hope. Luke Skywalker up in this. And then if they lose, then it's going to just be like Kylo Ren, just little crybabies. Can't fulfill Han Solo's like love and appreciation. But I'm hoping they win. Let me put that out. I'm hoping they win because I think what is it, Big 12 they're on? So when a lot of spotlight has been on like Colorado undeservingly, it's good for these teams to get the recognition. You're like, oh, these are teams that have beaten this team, and you should follow them. So it's a win-win. But my haterness, my haterade that I drink every day is what's keeping college football. It's pretty damn entertaining.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Hour 49. It's 9:21. You want to do the cage, Charles?
I'll do the cage because I'm going to keep it brief because I'm going to be AEW-centric. I'm going to be AEW-centric because next week is going to be Bad Blood. So, I'll go to WWE. So, welcome everybody to your weekly Truplex, The Cage with Charles. Full disclaimer, wrestling is not fake. It is scripted. It's a stage fight. It's a song and dance. It's about men and women being holy hell of each other, chasing championships, establishing legacies, doing all for me. For me. Remind me, I got to go look into my Peacock Premium pricing because I don't think I actually have premium, but I'd be in charge of premium, and that's unfair, NBC, or whatever the hell you call yourselves now. We're not a fan of it. As we know, your boy is going to be in Bad Blood next week. Friday is when I'm driving out. So Thursday, if we have the show then, I can kind of just do all my predictions. We're going to go make it AEW-centric. Wrestle Dream is on October 12th in Tacoma, Washington. I watched AEW Grand Slam last night because I had my internet back and, my beard grew out. My eyes got baggier. I was starting to see visions without internet. You guys don't realize we can never survive if everything went down for more than 2 days. I'm just telling you now, there's no gaming, there's no streaming. You can game, but maybe you can't get updates. Memes, man. Memes. It's all about the memes. But Charles, don't you have unlimited data plan? Actually, no, because it makes no sense. Oh, wow, that's a fumble. It makes no sense for me to have unlimited data plan when my house has Wi-Fi. My jobs have Wi-Fi, all the offices, stuff like that. So why would I need it? So I can look at memes while I'm driving? Don't meme and drive, guys. Text and drive, I can't speak to it. Meme and drive, don't do it. So I don't see the point to it. But also, if you're using your phone as a hotspot, you can't broadcast stuff that well. It's spotty. You know what I mean? So I watched AEW Dynamite last night, Grand Slam. They were in New York, Arthur Ashe Stadium. I liked the majority of it. It was good. I'm not up of this tribalistic routine that picks one brand over another. It makes no sense to me. Either you like it or you don't like it. Sometimes I feel like, we can fight it, sure, and say that you like one form more than another. But to say, because remember, guys, you shouldn't really support the company. You should support who? The wrestlers. They're the performers. They're the ones taking the bumps. They're the ones tearing their knees up. So Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, we kind of lightly talked about it last week, but this is Nigel's first time in the ring in a singles match in like 15 years, 11, 12 years against Danielson. They have a history from the Ring of Honor. Save you the time because I got to eat at some point. Just go watch on YouTube. I think AEW put it all on their Twitter feed and stuff like that. The match was good, not great, but it was a safe working coming into it. And at the very end, McGuinness taps out, but before he taps out, he goes to Danielson and says, "Thank you." I think I sent that to you guys. I felt that because in the last like 5-6 years that I've been on the show, I've seen wrestlers who've had like career ending injuries come back. Edge, Christian, Danielson, Nigel. And I won't say I was the biggest Nigel guy because I knew about him in Ring of Honor. I was also like 13. Okay. And then like his career kind of like subsequently ended. So I couldn't follow up. And we didn't have the glorious internet. That's the word of the day, right? Internet to follow through. Now I can just watch whatever I want on YouTube or Streamcast or whatever it is. But it was nice to see it. It was a good match coming into it. Mariah May versus Yuka Sakazaki. I'm sorry. It was good. It was a fine match. I liked it. Mariah May, I felt like I didn't catch up enough. She's the AEW Women's Champion right now, and she beat Toni Storm at the past pay-per-view to kind of get there, and she had betrayed her. She was a protege. I kind of highlighted it in the past episodes. Yuka was kind of one of her major challengers, and she won. And then Will Nightingale came out, and then Mina Shirakawa, who I got a love for, as Francisco knows in the chat, where I could be down bad. She came out, so they're going to build a feud there. Match was pretty good. I like Mariah May has a good mixture of physical combat in a wrestling ring and also just being able to kind of tell a story go from there. Hook versus Roderick Strong. It was good. Hook is the FTW champion, and what you need to know about this match that came from it is that Hook retired the FTW title, which helps my big complaint about kind of both shows, both companies where like there's
Does that really mean titles. For the win? Is it really FTW?
That was what Jericho had it, but really it was the fuck the world. I'm not counting that as my cursing. Right. It was a title originally originated by Taz and ECW Extreme Championship Wrestling. Hook is Taz's son, and if you guys don't know about Taz, just go watch his old ECW stuff. The guy was a beast. I remember buying a Taz toy with Pokemon the movie in VHS when I was in Toys R Us, and he had the TV championship. So Taz, you don't follow us on Twitter, but I think you're great. You're a core memory. I bought 2 things that day at Toys R Us. This is what happens when I'm getting older, and I don't know if it's the mushroom supplements I take that I remember clear things more. And I thought I could combat it with any kind of form of alcoholism. Apparently, I can't. The memory loss will not leave me. I remember buying that Taz because he had just signed into WWE because it was like circa 1999 or 2000. So I wanted that toy because I used to play with my toys when I came back to it. It was a great time, the happiest days of my life. I'm never going to get that ever again. It's all over, right? But then I also remember buying the Pokemon movie with Mewtwo and Mew, and they had, because if you remember, on the VHS, it had the Mew Pokemon card, special limited edition. And I think Burger King was also doing a thing with it. We will never be that happy ever again. No. Let's just accept it. Right now, we're just waiting to die peacefully. And Taz, you were a core memory, so thank you. That's all I can say about that. Thank you. As I realize I'm getting a little sentimental. So that was a good match. They retired the title. This allows Hook to kind of elevate into other title scenes. Because remember, he was like wrestling Samoa Joe when we're in the off season a bit. But you get to see more. I wouldn't mind him going against Jack Perry, just get that TNT title off of him. I don't know. Something, right? Young Bucks versus Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. The United Empire came back together. It was a good match. I liked it. Young Bucks retained because Grand Slam's kind of like a big like mini pay-per-view on the TV. And this is what I appreciate about AEW. I'm not going to pay $50 for their matches all the time, right, on the pay-per-views. I only do like, twice a year, maybe 3 if they do it right. But if you're going to put it on my Wednesday nights after I come back from the gym and I get a little bit of lasagna, thank you, Nick, for giving me the lasagna that you made for you and your pregnant wife. Congratulations. I will sit there and watch it because it's supposed to just kind of like de-stressed my brain, and I like it. It was good. And the Young Bucks actually had a good match because they don't wrestle a lot. And then we get the main event: Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. So I got to give some insight onto this. Moxley was part of Danielson's crew, the Blackpool Combat Club. He and Claudio and Pac, I got the Hispanic accent does want to come out every now and then. Pac betrayed Danielson by choking him out with a bag. So Darby was the number one contender for the title, and Mox is like, "Oh, put your title match on the line against me," and then Mox won. I'm not feeling it. I think the match will be fine. I think this is the problem with wrestling. You play this game called If I'm Booked, and then you're basically being an author, imaginary author, right? Just writing a story. I just want it because Wrestle Dream, October 12th, is in Washington. Danielson's a Washington boy. And then Darby's a Washington boy. Why don't you just give the crowd what they want? And then you have Danielson win against Darby and just get Mox down the line. But whatever, right? Like, the match will be fine. The match will be good. They need to kind of like have more interaction because what they did is they kind of fake that injury angle, or not fake, but prolong that injury angle. That I love my little Ric Flair pop. I'm looking at myself right now on my guy. You have the Yankee saddle belt. Hopefully, I can get the real one. But back to the basics here. The match should be good. The match should be fine. I need them to kind of pad the stats a little bit and the promos, anything in the next 2 weeks from Danielson's point of view. At the very end, he's like, I'm going to kick your fucking head in, 9, 10. So that's good. You want that in there. But I never have a problem with it. I know it's going to be quality matches. The only thing I really don't care about that AEW does, and I don't know if the Twitter people, agree with me not. I hate like random title defenses on every single title. I think there's a dilution of competition, if that makes sense. Like prize pig, prize fighter, right? That's the mentality that you bring in, and you don't have that title defended every time. You should do it on certain titles, but not every single thing. Not that Danielson was doing it, but I'm talking about like this is an overall issue that I have. But I'm not crazy about the end result because I like Darby. I liked him with Sting. I liked him before he hooked up with Sting. I think he has the capability for AEW to be the AEW World Championship. I don't know if he would translate well elsewhere, but there's a reason why you should have. And people say alternatives and competitions. I say options. That's how I view it. Alternatives make it seem like it's the weaker, right? And then competition make it seem like they're going neck and neck, but there's different kind of demographics because different styles of wrestling. I call this, what's the other kind of option? How do you like your wrestling, boys? We've said this before. Going 6 years, I've phrased that question. Do you want a combat sport aesthetic to it? Do you want a soap opera? Do you want like a mixture of both? Do you want to feel emotion? Do you want to feel passion? Do you like the underdog story? Do you want the acrobatics? And people are like, this flippy shit, 10, 11, is not wrestling. It is, bro. It is, because if you hate the flippy shit, that means you hate Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, Halloween Havoc 97. And we don't hate that. We don't hate that. So go fuck yourself. 13. Definitively go fuck yourself. You guys just hate it because you want to hate it because, how do I want to say this? Wrestling opinions on a big platform, right? Like Twitter, which please follow us, but you're going to hear what I gotta say, makes it seem like it's main character syndrome where your voice is, God, and it's not. Because you can just change the channel and not choose to watch it. Because let me tell you something. There's plenty of pay-per-views I watched on WWE that have been trash. There's some AEW pay-per-views I didn't like. And there's some of them are like, just be worth my time. And if I watch it, if I have a way to comprehend and enjoy it, whether I'm watching it in the 3 hours sitting down on the TV, being a weekly show, or if I'm watching it on a pay-per-view, or if I'm just getting the snaps of it, little sound bites from my Twitter, then I'm okay. The YouTube stuff. But AEW is always doing, in my opinion. Here's a caveat. So, MVP, who was in WWE. Oh, that MVP, Charles, who was WWE, and he was with Bobby Lashley managing the Hurt Business. He was managing Amos, all that stuff. Yeah, that MVP. He's on he came out last night AEW because Prince Nana, who was the manager, manager of Swerve Strickland, who we love Strickland. He's the one that stapled up and did all that stuff to Hangman, and then Hangman drank his blood, and then got knocked down and everything, and had his house burned down. All this stuff. I'm giving you like a year's worth of feud in like 2 sentences. He was coming out saying, "Hey, you lost your edge because your manager Nana is weak. Is more focused on this brand. When you want to come back, let's do like a Hurt Business or Hurt Syndicate." So the rumor mill is that Bobby Lashley is going to come to AEW because his contract expired. And look, I don't know how Hunter dropped the ball with Bobby. And I understand Bobby is long on the tooth at 47, but if you look at a picture of Bobby Lashley at 47, you're not going to think that he is
No,
old or
black don't
antiquated
crack.
or anything like that. Black don't crack, and that muscles for days. And I love Bobby. Because he ended Drew McIntyre's bad reign. I still remember that whole big spiel and segment that I talked about it. But like, there's some guys that just look and say that's a heavyweight guy. He might not have all the ring skills. He might be terrible on the mic. That's where you gave him a manager. But like, you just look at guys like that's a reliable guy that you should have been able to make your alternative Brock Lesnar, who is just disappeared for all the legal issues, or just become his own juggernaut. It's a shame that him and Brock just couldn't have good feuds. But my problem is when you keep signing like these guys from WWE, it is going to push out people from AEW who maybe should have an opportunity at the spotlight, and maybe drives him to go to WWE. Like Ethan Page went from AEW to WWE, now he's NXT champion. Not that I'm saying that they're on the same level, not that I'm saying that people liked him and whatnot. I like all wrestlers. I don't really hate anybody. You guys know this. There's just like some wrestlers like, I'm not crazy about them. But it's just one of those things like, oof, because like I only watch Dynamite. I don't watch Collision. I don't watch Rampage. Why? Because Rampage is on Friday. Where do I tend to be, guys, on Friday? At Castaways, at Wild Wings, watching the sports, right? Eating some good chicken wings. Saturdays, buddy, I'm not going to watch wrestling on Saturdays unless it's a pay-per-view because, I hate commercials and stuff like that. I can't do it. But we'll see what it comes to. But AEW, this is your show. I'm going to leave it at this because we're all hungry. My tummy's rumbling. Andrew, I think, fell asleep. Francisco, he's got to pack up. And this is how I'm going to leave it at when it comes to AEW. It is only going to improve once you make the pay-per-views more accessible to casual people. So the big rumor mill that they've been trying to lock up is, can they get Warner Brothers Discovery to ease up their pay-per-views? They're eliminating Bleacher Report as a website to utilize the pay-per-views and purchase them, which kind of sucks, as I have Bleacher Report as my sole purpose of it, but I guess I'll have to go Fight TV. But if they can find a way to give you a max catalog, I'll pay the extra money, like $5 additional a month, and I get that catalog, sure, because that's what happened. Like one day, I remember being a kid moving to Polk County in New York. I just watched baseball, bro, and I played video games and stuff like that. I try not to get shot in Jackson Heights. That was a life, right? But one day I moved to Polk County and I just saw like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan, racist ass that he is. His beer is terrible, by the way. My buddy Houdini loves Hulk Hogan, and this is a don't ever be a sponsor, whatever your thing was that we used to talk about. I don't purchase. He made Real American Lager, and I don't drink beer like that. I might drink some craft ones, like if you give me a porter or stout. But I try to. Beer puts too much weight onto you. I got to keep it fly at 35. You know what I mean? But Houdini gave me a couple of them. It is the worst tasting beer I've ever had. It tastes like, I'm pretty sure it's what Vince McMahon's ass juice tastes like, because Hogan was kissing the lips the entire time, and it's so true. And no, I'm not watching the Vince McMahon documentary because I know all I need to know about that. Okay. Like I already know. You guys already know. I've educated you.
Watch the Diddy documentary.
Yeah. Watch the Diddy documentary. That stuff's amazing. 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Johnson & Johnson. I'm like, that's why you don't have competition, because when someone's buying 1,000 of it, product-wise, you can never go down. Now you can make Johnson & Johnson. You can make the Diddy special, extra lubricant baby oil. It's made of the real tears of Sean John going from it. Those memes are just fantastic. I can never say no to it. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. But AEW, find a way to make open accessibility with the wrestling, the same way that you do broadcast certain sports on Max. I think you'll allow AEW to kind of broaden its senses there, because remember, when we target audiences, we don't want the people who are already adults and watch it forever, ever, right? We want to get the kids. We want to get the children. We got the little 7-year-old Charleses who are like, what the hell do you do in Polk County? Because, what do you do in Polk County, right? You go out, become a wrestling fan, and then you leave and you come back. And that's all I'll give you this week for the cage, because I'm starving.
All right. Okay. So I think that's it for us. So nothing more. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Take care.
Yeah.